All right, this is going to be a patch breakdown of the previous patch I just did. It's going to be a little bit back and forth running here because my microphone doesn't reach all the way over to the rack. So there's that. But let's see if we can break this stuff down. I am, as always, using the Deluge as my main sequencer and sampler. It is primarily sampling drums, and I went completely overboard on drums this time. It's some samples that the previous owner kindly loaded onto the SD card. So I have actually no idea where they come from, but there's that. So let's see, we have a bass drum, one snare, two snares, a clap with a lot of reverb on it, some cymbals, closed hi-hat, was that an open hi-hat? Yeah, it was an open hi-hat, but it's closed hi-hat, and I think these are toms. Yep, two toms. And this is then slap right thing with a lot of this is a new thing I've started to do. I'm running the whole modular through the Deluge, so I can sidechain the whole thing instead of just sidechaining the bass, which I'm used to. But it does, I think it sounds better with everything sidechained. It gives that nice sort of techno-y vibe. This is the Modular Polycinematic. It's over there. It's on court duty as always. It's the MIDI out from the Deluge. It's yeah, I'm not doing very much advanced with it, but it's doing chords. Hi, Forstin. Then we have sort of a droney thing. Which is this wavetable mode on the Ericasynth Pico DSP with a healthy amount of reverb added. Then I have a CV track here which only controls precision adder. In this sequence, it's just sending 0 voltage because I'm playing in the root scale, which is C minor. So this is rings. It's running through both clouds, Sumi, and a clocked delay running on the FX8, and it's programmed with the first 4 nodes, which I'm running now. This is just arpeggio with a normal minor scale, but I can extend it all the way up to all 8 steps, and then it's major 9th chord. And this chord is basically moved around through the precision adder, so when we get to some of the other sequences, we can hear the chord changes. Oh yeah, by the way, this is not the precision adder, but it's the same CV output. I'm basically multing the precision adder input and putting into the transpose input of the Moskva 2 one here, because it has this musical transposition function, which basically transposes it while retaining the original scale. So all notes are within the original C minor scale, but it's just moving things up and down. And this matches the chords very well if the chords are within the sort of standard functional harmony of C minor. So with polycinematic, it sounds like this. Oops. It doesn't match the chords completely, but it has the same movement and sounds really nice. Let's talk bass. This bass consists of 2 oscillators, controlled with a crossfader. This is a square wave from Dope standard VCO. And this is a mode on Plats. They kind of sound very similar, so I can control the octaving. And it's also mixed together with some white noise. It's filtered by Steve's MS22 filter. It's really a nice filter, really gnarly. Patch, I chose not to modulate the filter at all. Instead, I just fiddled the knobs manually. Because so much else is going on at the same time. So if I have an LFO that I don't really have control over, it might just destroy the balance of the patch when I don't want it to. And some of these knobs are really nice to sort of control the bass output, making it sort of easy to transition to the next sequence part, like the spread input, which basically applies a high pass filter on top of the low pass filter. And that's a nice thing to use. It's sequenced by Marbles by Beautiful Instruments. I really like the way it does things. I mean, I'm not doing a lot of special things here, but it's kind of easy to control how much action the bass line will have. And if I want even less action, I can just add some more release to the envelope. Or even less. tonal changes you're hearing here is actually the precision adder. So if I go back to the one that only has the zero voltage, it's gonna have no movement at all. But because I'm using the precision adder, I could basically have the bass line follow the chords. So basically I can do with no action whatsoever. Here's a little bit more rhythm. And here's a melodic bass line. Kind of like having it not too action-packed musically when the harmonic changes a lot, because yeah, it's hard to control. A lot of the challenges in this patch is just reining all the percussion sounds in. Because with everything on, it's quite a lot. And you don't want everything going on at the same time. You want to have something you can put in and out when needed. This sort of more functionally harmonic section, I'm running the drone I had from the Pico voice before is actually running a melody. It's this one. This is quite a nice melody. I'm also have the sample loaded. So I have a vocal sample that I have from Splice. It's a nice vocal sample. I don't think this is the natural pitch for it, but the Deluge somehow transposed it correctly, which is nice. And I'm using this a number of times in the sort of most sonically challenged section. Kind of sounds like this. Just kind of it has this sinister vibe that I really like about it. It's sort of a good variation to some of the other themes going on in the patch. But it is basically, let's see if we can solo it. It's just a sample being triggered a number of times in quick succession with a lot of echo, delay kind of stuff going on. This is running together with D minor augmented chord, which is also departure from the rest of the harmonics in the rest of the patch. And the other one is, I think, yeah, I don't know, some G minor kind of thing. To transition easy, I made another section that basically goes from the D minor augmented to, or the D aug to C minor. And that section basically allows me to go from any section to any section in the arrangement. So that's kind of the structure on it. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 distinct sections in the arrangement. I think I only need to briefly talk about one more thing, which is clouds, where I'm doing the modular four pois, or cardinal sin of putting rings into it. But it's not only rings. But, it is what it is. It's been a lot of times where I basically froze some section of rings. Stopped rings and just had that running as an effect. Which sounds sort of odd on its own, but I think worked really well in the arrangement. Yeah, let's see. I don't think I have so much else to break down. The patch seems kind of big. It's not my biggest patch, but there is a lot going on. So, I mean, if there's anything you want to know, ask me in the comments on the chat. Otherwise, I don't think I have much more. This was just a quick patch breakdown because I thought it was cool to do. So, thanks for sticking around. See you some other time.